Shep
Yes,
Hyken, welcome.
I'm here.
I am thrilled to be able to interview you. I'm Tom Asher, the Senior VP of Customer Engagement for Humach. We're a contact center outsourcer and technology company and consulting firm, and we are honored to be able to interview Shep Hyken, who I'm going to brag about you for a minute, Shep, before we get going. You are a renowned speaker at conferences around the world, an expert on customer care and customer service. You've written 5 books, which are fantastic, and I encourage our listeners and watchers to check out his latest book, Amaze Every Customer Every Time. It's available on Amazon. He's got a great website with a blog that's written that he posts to regularly at hyken.com. Just switch to the blog section on that page and sign up for his regular updates. That's always engaging, great stories. And again, really excited to have you on our show here today to be able to ask you some questions about customer care and what's going on out there in the marketplace, because it's a really fascinating time. So you ready to get started, Shep?
I am ready to get started. It is so great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great, Shep. Well, you are in St. Louis right now. I'm here in San Francisco at our Humach offices, and let's get going, okay? You said something to the effect that they just want to buy the way they want to buy and get done what they want to get done quickly. And you've spoken about your weariness of the terms omnichannel and multichannel, and I feel the same way. We've heard it for so long. How do you think companies are still focused on the idea of channels? Or I should say, why do you think companies are still so focused on the idea of channels? And where do you see the focus shifting to once they realize that channels really aren't the most important aspect of customer service? Is it a shift to focus on devices or to something more grand and holistic?
I think it's to recognize channel is just a word that the customer doesn't care about. You know, freedom's just another thing. No, that's a song. No, another word for nothing
left to lose.
I'm like, no, channel is just a word, and you say to the customer, we have 17 channels for you to reach out. Like, who cares? Right. What I want to know as a customer is, how do I get you, and can I get you any way I want to get you? So here's how I like to talk to people. I want to tweet you. I want to, and I expect if I DM you, you're going to DM me back. I want to call up and talk to you, which, by the way, the phone's probably becoming, it's never going to lose complete relevance, at least not in the near foreseeable future, but it is slowly but surely becoming less relevant to self-service solutions. I want it fast. I want to just go on your website and go to my frequently asked questions section that I love on everybody else's website. I want you to have that so I can just go and get the answers. I want to do a quick chat with you if I need to. I want to be able to do it on my phone and pull it out of my pocket. So those are all channels. All it is customer service. It used to be easy. Now it's just simple. Customer service used to be either I come and visit you or I pick up the phone and call you. That's it. But today, there's so many different ways that customers like to communicate. And if you believe your customer focus, communicate where and when and how your customers want to communicate with you. So that's the answer to what the omni-channel. My friends at Pegasystems, great organization. One of the things they rally around is they've got a great CRM, customer relationship management program. But what it does is it brings all these different, not just channels, but different parts of the company together into one. And one of the things they talk about is that I think it's like a no channel support. It's just support. However they get us, they get us. It doesn't matter.
I completely agree. I love the no channel support idea, that it's not even about the device. It's just you should be able to connect with that company in whatever way you want, and even different ways in the same interaction. It should be completely agnostic to the device or to the channel. So totally agree, and I think that'll again resonate with people who are watching today. So next question for you, Shep. A lot of what you evangelize focuses around the proper treatment of customers and the golden rule. Do you ever envision a time when the human touch can be replicated by technology in customer service, or at least as close as possible? How do you see that coming about?
Sure. So we're looking into a crystal ball, but guess what? We don't have to look very far. It's almost here, if not here right now. So, to get into it, I mean, there's so many things that we can talk about here. Website is a big thing. If you can create a human experience on the website. So here's the point. Just recently, like in the last 3 weeks, Nordstrom said, we're going to create a bigger digital presence. And somebody came out and said, well, erode their customer service brand if they do that. And I said, that's a bunch of baloney sauce. Here's the thing about it. I'm sure that Nordstrom has given a great deal of thought as to what their online experience is going to be. And it's going to be it's going to be congruent. It's going to be in sync with the in-store experience. They do not want to erode their brand reputation. I'll guarantee that's what they're working very hard to do. Take a look at the behemoth, big, giant dude of all time online, and that's Amazon. And right. Amazon's done an amazing job of replicating a somewhat human experience online. Example, I go into my favorite, and I actually wrote an article about this guy named Kyle Lovell. I play hockey with this guy. He's a young guy. He's fast. He's still got a lot of muscle on him. He's in his early 20s, just graduating college. I actually got on the ice. He did circles around me, a pirouette or two, and took the puck away from me. But Kyle works at a hockey store called Total Hockey. And I walked in one day to look at some skates, and I just checking them out. They weren't quite the skate I wanted, the one I wanted. They didn't have my size. I came back a month later, and Kyle says, hey, welcome back. Shep, you know the skates you were looking at a month ago? I've got them. And he took me over, and guess what? I bought them. And by the way, I noticed the other day your glove has a little hole in it. Now, you can repalm it, but they're on sale today if you want to buy a new set of gloves. I go on Amazon, and what is Amazon? It writes up, welcome back, Shep. The last time you were here, this is what you looked at. Same experience I had with Kyle. Now, it's a digital experience, and I don't expect the smile and that personality, but I'm getting an I'm getting a close simulated experience. And I think that's what's happening today is if you take that type of mentality, you can start to move it into the digital age. So I'm going to get online, and I'm going to I'm going to click on a box that says, ask me a question. And I'm going to say, hey, it's Shep. I have a question about, I want to buy a new mouse for my computer. What are these? What do you have? And immediately, hey, Shep, thanks for shopping with us. We have 3 different mouses. Tell me what and it starts asking me questions. Is that a person or is that a robot answering me? Guess what? Today, there's a pretty good chance that's a robot. Now, here's the cool thing. The best, automated, robotic, artificial intelligence systems are going to recognize when I'm struggling to communicate with the robot and say, you know what, I think we've got a little confusion here. And just like that, seamlessly, a human steps in, and I don't even know the transition's been made. I think that's a cool way that AI is being used. So there's no reason I should have to wait on the phone, on hold for 10 minutes just to change my address, for a billing address. I should be able to go online and go back and forth with either chat with a live person or robotic. It doesn't matter, and I shouldn't even know the difference. Doesn't matter. Self-service solutions. I want to get in, get my information quick, and get out. And by the way, there's a whole generation that's playing today in business that's called the millennials. And I hate that we keep dividing these people up in these categories of millennials and baby boomers. But truth is, you can see the difference between the way people shop, the way people buy, the way people want their service, the way people want to communicate. So you can't argue with it. So we do have to adapt to the different styles. And I think the future customer is going to want a quick solution. They may want to do it on their own. If it gets complicated, they're going to want to connect quickly, get answers fast, and they want to know that they're valued as a customer. So some type of personalization, which, by the way, artificial intelligence can do a great job of personalizing the experience because it can interpret, the data in your file of what you've bought, when you bought it, your frequency, what you're most likely to buy because you're being compared to thousands of other customers that are just like you, better than a human being can. So I just read an article. They said there's no way AI can compete with the human for personalization. And that's just not true. The personalization might come out and I really care about you. I love you. Okay. That's called a personal experience, not a personalized experience. And there's a big difference. But I think personalization is very important today. And when you start to personalize the experience, it becomes personal.
Shep, I think you're spot on.
Tweet that. That's good.
I will tweet that. I think you're spot on. And I think what we're realizing is, yes, AI may not be able to ever replicate the kind of quality of empathy that human beings can express towards each other in terms of deep relationships. But in terms of customer care or customer service, absolutely AI can deliver on that experience of making it more personalized and more personal so that people feel like they're really getting great service. And frankly, from what we've heard from a lot of people, they don't really care whether it's a machine or a human. They just want great service. If it can be delivered quickly and effectively, people don't have a resistance. They may have a resistance to marrying a robot, but they're not marrying you. They're just doing business with you. There's a big difference. Right?
The robot doesn't talk back, do nice things, get my cleaning and pick up the prescription for, that's not a bad thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I think we're on
I just read an article about a guy that actually, he's a developer and engineer, and he developed a robot, and he said, I want to marry my robot. And, I don't know if it was probably in a tabloid and somebody's just passing it on, but
there's a great show on British television that you can get on Netflix called Humans. It's just been the first episode.
Yes.
And it's about these androids. They call them synths, who are so lifelike that they become part of the family. And it's about the psychology around what it's like when these synths become part of the family. It's fascinating. So
they don't die, they overheat.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a couple more questions. I know we have to start wrapping up. The next big thing in customer care, what do you think it is?
Wow, the next big thing. There's several trends that are happening now. The personalization, we mentioned and talked about that. How do you create an even more personalized experience? The more personalized you can make it, the better connection you're going to have. And even if it's digital, it's still that personalization creates some type of an emotional tie. I'll tell you what, man, I don't know if I guess we've talked to people on Amazon a couple, 3 times. We might have had a problem. Never a problem with Amazon. It's always a problem with the shipper, or the problem with maybe the product didn't do what it was supposed to do. But the way Amazon takes responsibility, it's like, wow. But I think that you're going to see personalization even in a digital sense. We already mentioned artificial intelligence. I think that this is a huge thing. Last year, I had a great opportunity to spend, and I've gone to this conference before. It's now called the World of Watson, and that's IBM Watson, the artificial intelligence. Everybody's beginning to understand what it is because we have a Siri, or we have an Alexa that we talk to, or a Cortina. But Watson is absolutely amazing. And Jenny Romney, who's the CEO of IBM, had a chance to listen to her talk about how AI should be thought of as IA. Instead of artificial intelligence, think of it as the intelligent assistant. And here's what's going to happen, especially in the support center world that many of our clients are in. If you can imagine, rather than the customer interacting with an artificial intelligent bot or robot or some kind of simulated experience, they're still talking to the rep. But artificial intelligence, the robot, the machine, is listening to our conversation in real time. And in real time, it's telling me, the customer service rep, what I need to tell that customer. It's pulling up information. I don't have to search for it. I don't have to type it in and try and find an answer to a complicated question. And not only that, it's profiling my customer. It knows everything about my customer, what he or she's bought before. I mentioned this earlier. And guess what? Based on all these other matching profiles from similar customers, as a customer service rep, the machine may tell me, tell them about this, because guess what? 90% of the people that have this problem, they call in next with this problem. So let's deal with it now. Or perhaps we can suggest something to them that might maybe sell something, upsell them, which I hate that word upsell, but used correctly, it's great customer service. If you don't upsell or cross-sell somebody when you're supposed to do it, it's a disservice not to do it. Anyway, the intelligent assistant will help the customer service rep deliver an amazing customer experience.
Well, I appreciate you touching on that, Shep. The idea that AI can help just not end users, customers, but also the agents as well, because so many of our viewers are managing large contact centers or customer care functions that have a contact center as a subcomponent. And that piece is really key. Is there's still going to be a lot of live interactions, whether it's text or email or phone, and agents need help, especially if they're newer agents. And there's a lot of this tribal or resident knowledge in their heads, but how to systematize that knowledge, operationalize it, and AI can really help do that. There's a lot of great software companies out there that are delivering that kind of those kind of tools right now as we speak, that really were just kind of pipe dreams a few years ago. And AI has really come into its own right now as something that was a promise for decades. It's finally delivering on that promise, and it's really exciting.
Like computers, it's going to speed up and get better and better, faster and faster. Right now, I think we're at its infancy, and it's starting to get pretty good. You know, it's pretty cool. It's amazing. I mean, it's in its most simplistic form, something like a Siri or and I'll mention her, Alexa, because she's behind me. She's going to light up in just a second. I did not understand that command. But, you know, a lot of that is document retrieval, where you train it to go get what it is that you ask for, and it understands different dialects, different accents, and different ways of saying things. But now it's getting smarter and smarter, and it's starting to see patterns. And when that starts to happen, and the computer is recognizing patterns and be able to give us better information as a result, we're hitting a whole nother level. And I think the cost is coming down, so it's more affordable to companies to be able to use this solution. And I think it's going to be amazing in the next couple, 3 years. I think it's going to be night and day. It's like we're going to think, well, how do we live without this? Kind of like our phones. You know, this is an amazing invention, this cell phone. And when I was 14 years old, my dad gave me a calculator, a big one, bigger than this phone. I thought that was the coolest thing I ever got in my entire life. Now it's like a calculator. It's in my watch.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to interview with us and share your wisdom, your pearls of nuggets. I encourage everybody, pearls of wisdom and nuggets.
Nuggets of wisdom, pearls of nuggets, whatever it is. I get it. I wasn't even going to stop you.
Thank you again. I encourage everybody to check out hyken.com. That's HYKEN.com for his fantastic blog, and see if you can get him to come to your next conference to speak. You can also check out Humach.com, and we'll have this interview posted there as well. It's HUMACH.com. That's our company website. But Shep, again, pleasure talking with you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you later this week when you speak at the upcoming SoCap conference in Chicago on April 24th, which this interview will be posted after that. But I'm hoping that we get a chance to really spend some time and talk further about these great ideas and break bread together.
We will. I guarantee it. I'll see you on Sunday.
All right, Shep. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.